In this lecture, we will discuss how to set a value to a field using client-side scripting. Let's start learning. Let's open VS Code, and here I am using a validate event to trigger some functions and method. We have already created a full name field in client-side scripting doc type. Here I am filling the full name field using first name, middle name, and last name. To add a value to a field, we can use this method form.setValue, and inside this function we have to mention which field name which we want to set and then the values. Here I am adding three values, and the values are form.doc, then first name, then form.doc middle name, and finally form.doc last name. So this will return a full name here, and we will set that full name into this full name field. Let's save this and go to client side scripting doc type, reload the page. Then add a new client side scripting. I'm adding first name Anu, then middle name is K, and last name is Anian. Let's save this document. Now the validate event is triggered, and here we can see the full name Anu K Anian. So this is how we can add a value to a field using setValue method. Let's see how to add values to a child table. Let's comment this and comment these lines. We can add values to a child table using form.addChild method, and inside this we have to mention the child table name, and which is family members. Then here I am adding three values to three fields. Our first field name is name1, and I am adding a name Johnson Joes here. In relation field, let's add father, and in age is 56. Let's save this and go to client side scripting, reload this page. Then add a new client side scripting. Just add something here, then save this document. Now the validate event will trigger, and here we can see the name is Johnson Joes and relation is father, and also age is 56. In this lecture, we will see how to set up doc field property using client side scripting. Let's start learning. Let's open VS Code. We can set up doc field properties using this method frappe set df property, and then mention that field name, then select different doc field properties, then set the values to that doc field. Here I am changing the first name field into mandatory field, and the mandatory field name is required in doc type, and I am setting that value to 1. So that means whenever this method is triggered, the first name will mandatory. Here I am triggering this method using this enable field. Enable field is a checkbox, and when we check on that enable field, the first name will become mandatory. Let's see the working. I'm saving this, then open the web application. This is my client side scripting list view. Refresh this page and add a client side scripting document. This is our enable field. Now we can see the first name is not mandatory. Let's trigger the df property method using this enable field, and now we can see the first name is become mandatory. So this is how we can set doc field properties to a field. Let's see some more examples. I'm opening VS Code. Then next I am adding a property to middle name field, and the property is read only. So when we click on this enable button, the middle name will become read only. Let's save this. Open client side scripting list view. refresh this page. Then add a client-side scripting. Here we can see the first name and middle name field, and the middle name is not read-only. We can add values here. Let's apply a df property read-only to this middle name using this enable checkbox. If I check this box, that middle name will become disappear and that field is now read-only. We can also use another method to set up a field into a mandatory field, and the method is toggle required. This method also change a field into a mandatory field. Here I am changing age field into a mandatory field, and let's add that age field here, then add a true here. So this will return a boolean value 1, and now the age field will become mandatory. I'm commenting these lines. Let's save this. Then go to client-side scripting list view, refresh this page. Let's add a new document. Now the age is not a mandatory field. Let's trigger that method, and now we can see the age is mandatory. From this video we have seen how to set up doc field property to different fields. In this lecture we will see how to set up a button in documents. Let's open VS Code. We can add different custom buttons using this method frm.addCustomButton. Inside this method we can add a button name. Here I am adding the button name click me button, and we can also trigger some methods and function when we click this button. Here I am triggering a message print inside this button function, and when we click on that button, this method will trigger this message you click me. Let's add this inside a refresh event, then save this. Let's open client-side scripting doc list, reload this page, and create a new client-side scripting. Here we can see the button click me button, and when we click on this button we can see this message you click me. So this is how we can add different custom buttons in document. Let's see some more examples. Let's comment this first button. Now let's see how to add a drop down button inside this document. So let's comment this code. Here I am creating two buttons, click me 1 and click me 2, and also these two buttons are inside this click me main button. If you click on click me 1, you can see the message you click 1, and if you click on click me 2, then you can see you click 2. These two buttons are inside this click me main button. Let's see how it is working. I'm saving this document and go to client-side scripting list view, refresh this page, add a client-side scripting, and here we can see a drop-down button. Inside this drop-down button we can see our two buttons click me 1 and click me 2. Let's click on click me 1. Now we can see this message you click 1, and if you click on click me 2, we can see you click 2.